and welcome to the program. The first working meeting between US President Donald Trump and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky took place in New York in the midst of the scandal surrounding their telephone conversation in July. The day before, the House of Representatives announced an impeachment investigation against Trump. He is accused of allegedly asking Ukraine to conduct an investigation into the son of Democratic presidential candidate Joe Biden in exchange for US military assistance. The White House published a transcript of the conversation on September 25th. To discuss this and more, we are joined in studio today by Sergiy Korsunsky, he is the director of the Hennadii Udovenko Diplomatic Academy of Ukraine. Hello, and thank you for joining us. So, first question. This is kind of a big scandal now in the US. Trump privately urged the Ukrainian president to investigate his political rival, Joe Biden, according to this transcript. He suggests that Volodymyr Zelensky look into Mr. Biden. Now, what's your thoughts in general? What can you take out of this transcript, and what's your thought about this general matter?
On one hand, if you look on the position that whether president of one country would talk about such a thing to the president of the other country, that maybe looks strange. On the other hand, what I cannot find an answer to the question, why in the end of July, when it's not even close to the nomination, official nomination of Joe Biden as candidate from the Democratic Party for the presidency. It's a year and a half before elections, and definitely long way to go to Democratic convention. Why President Trump talking to the President Zelensky, to whom he never met, they just talked second time, would ask him to investigate those issues. Actually, I think that was a bad advice from Trump, probably inner circle of people, and there were an idea that Hunter Biden, being a member of the board of Burisma company, which works in energy sector in Ukraine, did something illegal. Actually, what I know about this company, it was never investigated from this point of view. I mean, they did not commit any crimes. Yes, they were connected to some oligarchs, but that's not something very unusual in Ukraine.
Now, it is, as you said, it's not. You tend to say it's not that explosive. It's kind of a normal words between presidents, but it is. There is indeed a will from Donald Trump to, let's say, ask Ukraine to, in a way, meddle into their election. How can Volodymyr Zelensky get out of this mess without?
Actually, this is very thin question. Whether President Trump asked President Zelensky to intervene into elections. He asked him to investigate activities of son of the former vice president. But I don't see how that could, at that point of talk, I mean, in the 25th of July, how that could be considered as intervening into the elections. I don't see, again, if information would be provided to American side, and if then it is used, that probably would be a different issue. From our point of view, I mean, from Ukrainian point of view, what I see from this transcript, that President Zelensky was trying to find, establish a good chemistry with the President Trump. He's a very unusual person to talk. Let's
be fair.
Yes, let's be fair. I don't see whoever in the world, any leader in the world, would talk to President Trump, would feel like strain in finding a proper words and proper manner to talk to him. So President Zelensky was trying to please him, that's definitely. I see nothing wrong in that. I don't see that he promised something to do which was illegal or wrong. He said, yes, if you want, we can investigate. Yes, soon I will have a prosecutor general approved by the parliament, who is 100% my person. Nothing wrong in that. Yes, he won elections as person. He won election as a leader of the political party, servants of the people. So all power in his hands. Definitely, he would like to have a prosecutor general 100% his man.
Indeed, but that's problematic for a certain part, for certain part of Ukrainians who see this 100% being my person as some sort of no separation between the judicial power and the executive power. And it's kind of contradictory with the statement of a cleaner, let's say, state and less, more transparent state.
That's, again, for those who would like to find the smallest fault in Zelensky's words, they can claim this is a kind of strange statement. On the other hand, we should pay attention to deeds, not to words. If this prosecutor general will act in interest of certain political party or persons, that could be a completely different story from my point of view. Definitely Zelensky, what he meant, and he, by the way, he answered, he was asked about that, and he answered that, look, that was what I meant, that the person who will be appointed, the person whom I trust, he was me for 7 months in a campaign, and I'm sure he will be approved by the parliament, and that happened. So he's now acting as a prosecutor general, and I don't think that that kind of violation of anything from legal point of view.
What about we're just gonna clear out a few problematic statements, and then we'll go further into the consequences of this transcript. What about this statement about the U.S. ambassador Udovenko, when Volodymyr Zelensky says clearly, well, she was put out of office because I didn't really like her attitude, or she was linked to Poroshenko. What's your stance on that?
Of course, normally and officially, he would never say that. It is clear. What we know that Ambassador Udovenko was appointed by Obama administration, so she was not definitely a person to whom Trump trusts. So that means that President Zelensky was, maybe he was playing a little bit ball on Trump's side and confirming that he was not easy with her. Whether she was pro-Poroshenko, it is not clear. I cannot recall plain statements on side of one of the candidates. There are different points of view on her activities in Ukraine. Yes, she was acting, of course, as a U.S. ambassador in the interest of the United States. So it is not up to us to judge her activity. But let me tell you, from diplomatic practice, I saw many times that ambassadors of foreign countries were openly criticized by the leader of the country of posts. So it is not that very unusual, and sometimes they are recalled. Mostly, often so, because it is very important whether the ambassador has a chemistry with the government of the recipient country. So that means that probably government of Ukraine was not against her going home a little bit, months probably earlier, little bit earlier than her term as a U.S. ambassador.
Now, you're basically saying that Volodymyr Zelensky adapted his speech to the way Trump talks and to Trump was expecting from him. Isn't it a little bit naive, let's say, to adapt to someone like Donald Trump, who can say something and the opposite the day after? Isn't, like, Zelensky knows he's a social person, he's a